Hello, and we're live. And good Saturday morning to you. Hi, I'm Bradley, and welcome to this Saturday live Facebook on how I secured millions of pounds in business with new clients, high-profile entrepreneurs, and connections during my career by not being afraid to pick up the phone and speak to people. So as Facebook Live normally does, it takes a few seconds for it to go live and to find your audience. So if you're joining, I guess the first thing I'd like to say is welcome and thanks for joining us. If you want to send some messages across the system, hi Umar, good morning. Do send some messages across the system and we'll try and answer as many questions as possible. But what I wanted to talk about is to take you through, hi, thanks Umar, bless you. I wanted to take you through a 6 to 7 point strategy of overcoming the fear of using the phone and to gain your connections and to gain new clients and to not be afraid of using the phone to move your business forward. And using the phone is one of many, many methods that you can use to build your business. Now, there's so many different routes of marketing, so many different ways you can market your business, and the telephone is one of them. But the point being is this, that so many of us in business, we fear using the phone. So I'm going to take you through a 6 point strategy today, about 15 minutes. It's Saturday, so I'm casually dressed. First one is mindset. Second one is, what would be your ultimate client connection, your ultimate new contract, or the ultimate entrepreneur that you'd like to meet. The third thing is, what would you say? What would you want to say to this individual? What would you want to say to this client? The next thing, number 4, point 4, is how to call and connect with your potential clients. Number 5 is monitoring and controlling the outcome and the follow-up so that you can understand where you are in your process. And number 6 is the fact that you've got to keep going and keep retrying and keep repeating the process. And number 7 is coming back to what I call the relentless approach to get everything right so you can secure your clients, so you can not be afraid to pick up the phone. Now, before I start on point number 1, and if you're just joining us and you like what we're doing, like anything on Facebook Live, please do share the video. Feel free to write some comments down in the comment box. And what I want you to be thinking about, during this process, I want you to be thinking about you. I want you to be thinking about your business. I want you to be thinking about, hey sis, how you doing? Hey Vasilis, how you doing? I want you to be thinking about how you're going to achieve these things, how you're going to overcome the fear of using the phone, because it's such a valuable tool in today's market. Harry, good morning, buddy. How you doing? And I'll tell you why the phone's an important tool. With social media and marketing and everything we do right now, with your targeted marketing on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, you're actually going to get around about a 6% connection rate. Social media now has got to the stage where, unless you're spending lots and lots of money on specific targeting, your message is not going to get through. So the telephone is another vital method of adding into your marketing mix in order for you to grow your business. Now let's run through these points again. Hi Marissa, good morning to you. How are you? Point number 1, your mindset. Point number 2, what would be your ultimate client or your ultimate connection? Now, think about these points before we go into them. Think about what it is you want. Put it into your mind. Number 3, what would you say to these clients, these connections, when you pick up the phone? Number 4, how to call and connect with an individual. Number 5, how do you monitor and control your outcome and manage your follow-up? And number 6, keep going and be relentless in terms of your repeating your process. And number 7, coming back to your mindset. Those are the 7 points. Now, let's go into the 7 points and let's start them one by one. First of all, the most crucial thing, again, I'm casual today, it's Saturday business, and anybody watching today is listening because they're probably interested in business and want to learn more. So number 1, your mindset. Your mindset is so important, because what's going to happen is this: so many people have got a fear of picking up the phone, and what happens in their mind is the mindset says, oh, I'm afraid in one side, and the other side says, yeah, I want to do it. But 9 times out of 10, what happens is with your mindset, if you're not confidently using the phone, your mind will say to you, actually, I'm afraid, and then you'll procrastinate and you'll start putting up so many barriers in your head rather than making the call. And the barriers that we put up in the head, and perhaps you can understand this, is like this. Oh, what if they say no? What if I don't get through? What if my words don't come out correctly? What if I don't get it right? What if they don't understand me? They don't like me? They don't want to connect with me? All these thoughts can go through your head in terms of your mindset. Your mindset, all I want you to think about with your mindset is this, that I want you to believe that you've already made the calls. I want you to believe that you've already connected with an individual. I want you to believe that you've already run the new contract, the new client, and you've secured that business and you've got that business. I want you to believe in your mind that you've already got it. You're already there. Now, your mindset is going to fear rejection. Your mindset is going to fear rejection. It's going to fear rejection that actually somebody's going to say no. So accept that you are going to get some no's. And let me tell you a quick story about mindset. When I was a little lad, just 16 years of age, I wanted to work on the London stock market. Everybody laughed at me. I was just an average qualification guy at school, but I really badly wanted to do it. So I left school one afternoon, I went up to London to the stock market, and I looked down on the London Stock Exchange floor, and I was so buzzed and excited. I wrote 150 handwritten letters to every single broker and dealer and market maker out of the stock market book, London Stock Exchange book. Every day I got up and I went downstairs for envelopes to come through. Hardly any came. I probably got about 30 or 40 no's, and the rest of the people didn't even want to respond to me. So I thought, oh, this is no good. Then what I said was, no, I'm going to do it. They said, you've got no qualifications, you need to be a graduate. I then went uptown and I started meeting recruitment agencies. I got on the phone to put myself in. So many of the recruitment agencies turned me down and said, you haven't got the skills. I kept going, I was relentless, rung some more agencies, went back up to town. Eventually, I got into a couple of agencies, 16 years of age, and I wanted to be a blue button on the stock market in London. And everybody was saying no. 2 agencies, yes, said, yes, come and see us. I had 4 or 5 interviews. The first 2 interviews, I crashed and burned. I didn't know what to say. I was so scared. I saw the job. I was so excited. I didn't have the experience to control my mind. The 3rd and 4th interview, this is after 150 or so no's. I did the interview. I went in. I got the job. So I learned very, and I was actually the youngest blue button to ever serve for James Capel, HSBC in London at 16 years of age. So you have to be relentless in your mindset. You have to believe that you're going to do it. You have to believe that you're going to get a result. But what you've got to say to yourself as well is, listen, you know, in trying, I'm going to get a setback. In trying, I'm going to be told lots and lots of no's. You've got to accept that. So your mindset, you've got to get that right first of all, because if your mindset isn't there, before you even pick up the phone, before you even start to make a dial, if your mindset's not right, you're never going to be successful in making a call. If you're afraid of heights, climb up anyway. You'll still be scared, but you'll do it. Don't procrastinate. The longer you procrastinate and put off making the call or making a connection, the harder it's going to get for you. So don't let procrastination come into your mind when you're thinking about making a call. That's point number 1. Now, number 2, what would be your ideal client? What would be your ideal connection? Now, you could be wanting to move on in your career and get a new job. You may be wanting to start a new business. You may be in business and looking to secure a new client. You may be looking to win a new contract. You may be looking to meet somebody that's a high-profile entrepreneur. Whatever it is that's in your mind right now, think of what would be your ultimate client or your ultimate connection. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid when I say that. It could be a contract that you want to get that's going to earn you £100,000 in sales. It could be a connection that's a high profile entrepreneur. It could be anything that you want it to be, but put that in your mind and think about it. Think about it right now and think about whether that person, that contract, what it's going to mean to you, okay? Get it in your mind. For me, meeting a guy called David Gold was a really fantastic thing, and I've met lots of high-profile entrepreneurs, and I've secured lots and lots of business in my life. And I've secured this by picking up the phone and not being afraid to do so. I've not bought this. I've not been on business coaching courses where I've been photographed with people on courses. I've actually met people through picking up the phone. So think about your client. Think about the person that you want to connect with. Think about the contract. Think about what you want to go after, and hold that in your mind right now. And think about what it would mean to you, what it would mean to your business if you actually had that person. Now, how do we call and connect? How do we call and connect? Because now once you've got the person in your mind, once your mindset's right, and once you've got the person in your mind, your mindset's going to say to you, okay, right, my mindset's right, I believe, I'm positive, I'm going to make the call, I'm not afraid, I accept I might fall over, I accept I might get it wrong. You've now said to yourself, I've got my client in my head, I know the connection I want to make, and actually, I'll tell you something now and I share with you this, okay? I've got a connection in my mind right now that I want to become the person who writes the foreword for my book. Now, my book's called Get Up, Stand Up, Do It. It's coming out in just a couple of weeks. It's nearly there. But I want a guy called Les Brown to do the foreword in my book. And I'm going to ask Les Brown to see if he'll write the foreword in my book. Now, Les Brown doesn't know me. Les Brown's a really high profile, fantastic motivational speaker. Look him up on YouTube. In fact, one of the videos on my YouTube channel is Les Brown. It's possible. It's possible. It's a 7-minute video. It'll blow you away. And I'm going to ask him to write the foreword in my book. Now, he doesn't know me. I'm just little old Bradley Chapman who's starting up a new business called Yes You Can, Inspired to Achieve, to help business owners grow and succeed. But I believe Les might say yes. And I will pick up the phone and contact him. In fact, already a kind lady called Sabrina has introduced me to Les Brown's agent in London, and hopefully a lady called Al, we're going to hook up and she might be able to get me in to meet Les when he comes in September. However, get that person in your head. Don't be afraid. I'm not afraid, and I'll make the call. So what is it we're going to say? What is it we're going to say to the person we're reaching out to? What is it? What's your reason for wanting to connect with a person that you're looking to get to? Let's say it's a contract and you've got to speak to a buyer. Let's say it's an entrepreneur you want to get in touch with. The whole point being is this, that think about how you want to connect. Think about how you want to come across. Think about what it is you want to say. Think about what it is you'd like them to understand from what you're doing. And then start making some notes on a bit of paper of what you want to say. Now, don't babble and fluff around. Just write the very succinct point. So for me, the reason why I want to contact Les Brown is because, one, I love his style, I love what he stands for, and I want him to be the person who writes the foreword for my book. Why do I want to do that? I love this guy, the way that he comes across. I love his career and what he's been through as a child. I love what he's done with himself. I love his motivation, and that resonates with me. And that's why I want to contact him to become the person who's going to write my foreword. It has to mean the same thing to you. A client I secured once was a client, Walt Disney, and I worked with the Kids Club, the Disney Channel's Kids Club. Now, the Disney Channel's Kids Club was worth £500,000 in one contract alone for me, which I won, and I secured and supplied caps and clothing to Disney's Kids Club in the UK and in France, and it was worth nearly £500,000 over a 12-month period. So how did I get it? How did I win that client? What did I say to that client? What I first thought was this: okay, I've got a fairly small business. At the time, the business was growing, and we had some great products. I called up and asked for the buyer's details for the Disney Club, and it turned out they were based in Hammersmith in London. There were two really lovely ladies, and lucky enough, they picked up the phone to me. Didn't the first time. I think it was a recorded message, but I stayed polite. Hi, my name's Bradley. I'm calling from Compass, and I'd like to speak to you both with regards to kind of some really creative ideas for the Disney Kids Club and the Disney Channel, and I wondered if you allow me to share a few moments of time so I can perhaps put across some suggestions for you. Really appreciate it. Look forward to speaking to you. And then actually didn't get a call back, and then I went again and kept calling until they picked up the phone. And once they picked up the phone and I spoke to the buyer, I started talking about what we could do. But what was most important about the call, it was that I wanted to solve her problems. I wanted to help her. So this is a new customer connection. Yeah, I wanted to solve her problems, and her problems were, from talking to her and asking questions, that the people that was already supplying to the Disney Kids Club weren't being creative with the merchandise that actually they could be selling. And I said, look, I wonder if you'd allow me to provide some merchandising ideas and designs for you to look at and consider. Even if you don't decide to come with us and buy from us, what I'd like you to do is perhaps just have a look. You never know, it might be some great ideas, and the worst comes to the worst, there's no cost for you, very limited time. We'll pay for all the research and development, and if you do like something, great, we'd love to work with you. But if not, then the worst case is you can take it back to your existing suppliers and say, look, this is somebody we've never worked with before. This is the kind of creativity they've come up with. And you can go back to them and ask them to create it for you. Hopefully, if we get it right, you might consider a teaser order with us. And this is Walt Disney. You know, this is a massive potential client. I'm just a little guy that's got a clothing business at this time, an import and export business. Actually, it did grow. It went multi-million, and we operated in around about 60 countries around the world, and we supplied some amazing people. But everybody laughed at me when I said I'm gonna try and work with Walt Disney. Walt Disney? How are you gonna work with Walt Disney? Who are you to work with Walt Disney? Anyway, this is what we did. We then went away and we come up with a series of creative ideas, different designs. And we asked for the agreement for us to use their logo on these designs to give to them. It was a non-disclosure. It only went to Walt Disney for their eyes only. And that's what we did. But not only did we come up with creative designs for them, what we also did, and I said to myself, okay, well, let's invest a little bit of money in this because there's a big contract to be had here. And if we go above and beyond what they're expecting us to do, it just might make them think, hang on a minute, this team's got something about them. This team's going to go the extra mile. This team's being creative. This team's gone out of their way to do something. So we're very calm in our approach. And this is what you need to consider when you're looking for your client. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. Don't be afraid to go out of your way and be creative, because they can only say no. And if they say no, then actually you're more than likely going to go back again and get another position to put yourself in with another client, and then another and another. So this is what we did with Walt Disney. Not only did we come up with lots of creative designs, which was in like a CAD format for caps and t-shirts and sponges and all sorts of creative products. Not only that, we built them, we made them, we branded them, and we sent them finished samples as gifts. So I think I ended up spending something like £300 to £400 on sampling, designs, embroidery, screen printing, and creative designs. And what we did was, we said, right, the package will be arriving this morning for you. We're sending it up by same-day courier. Are you both in today? Because we'd like you to be there. Yes, we are. We're both in. We sent it by same-day courier. Inside the package, we also sent them some chocolates and some flowers and a card wishing them well. And whatever they decided to do, it's been a pleasure to talk to them from this stage. Well, we sent the box up by courier. Okay, same day, paid a bit more money. It arrived. I knew it got in their hands because as soon as the courier delivered, they was instructed to call us and let us know it's been delivered, they've signed for it, they've got it. So we now know that they've got the box. We're in total control of the process and what the customer experience was going to be, because what you've got to think about now during this stage is, what's the customer experience going to be? What's the customer going to be thinking now? What are they going to be experiencing? And their emotions are going to be either, oh, I don't like the way I've been spoken to on the phone, or I don't like what they've done, or I don't like their process, or they're going to say, oh my gosh, you know, we're Walt Disney and this is something quite special. And that's exactly what happened. We got a call back within an hour of them receiving the goods, and the buyer said, I just wanted to call and say thank you very much indeed. When you said you was going to send through some design samples on paper, we thought that's what you was going to do. Well, I can tell you that every single member of staff in the purchasing department is inside this box. They're wearing your jackets, they've got your t-shirts on, someone's already taken the mug and it's on their desk. The key rings are absolutely fabulous, the heat changing mugs are unbelievable. We love what you do. When can you come up and see us? Bang. An amazing moment. And on the phone, when they're saying that, we had it on speaker, and everybody in the office wasn't going, yeah, yeah, loud. They were going, you know, celebrating because, you know, we managed to get in the doors of Walt Disney by using the telephone. We went up to Walt Disney and they placed an order on that day, first order, for about £40,000. We delivered those orders to France and to the UK. That was featured on TV on the Kids Disney Club channel, the Disney Channel. And after that, I think the total orders went up to something like 360 to nearly £400,000 in the first year, all by using the telephone. Now, let me tell you, and you'll have experienced this and you may understand that you don't just ring up and get to that stage without having a few knocks. There were so many no's that we had before that stage, and it's the same now. Today, in today's business, no matter what you do, you're going to get a few knockbacks. You're going to get a few people that's going to say no to you. Don't be disheartened by that, because the fact that you've got a no is the fact that you're trying, and you have to keep trying, because it's only by keep trying will you hone your skills, will you become more effective at using the phone, and you'll have more confidence. And I tell you, if you want some help with regards to one-to-one coaching, then just pick up the phone or book a 30 to 60-minute free coaching call, and I'll help you. There's no cost. That's what we do. We help people to grow their businesses, and in turn, you help us. So it costs nothing to have a phone call. We're happy to do that. So what would you say? If you need to create a sales script and you've got a sales team, then of course you're going to need to create some sort of sales script that's going to catch the attention of the people that you're looking to target, looking to achieve. And your sales script is something where you're doing an introduction, you're trying to introduce your service, you're trying to be polite, and you're trying to ask them a few questions, because remember, you're solving your customers' problems, not really selling your services. For example, the reason why we secured a contract with Walt Disney is because we solved their problem. Their problem was they wanted something new, bright, engaging, something they could say wow factor on their products. We solved their problem, and they had the wow factor within the products. Another client, for example, you might be looking to secure a contract with them where they have a need for your service or product. Their problem is the person that's already working with them has been let them down a few times, and their service level agreement isn't up to speed. But you don't know that until you make a phone call and build a relationship for them to open up and say, yeah, well, we've been let down quite a lot in the last year. You know, if we can find a way to plug that hole and provide a more efficient service that takes you up to a service level agreement of 99%, would you be prepared to talk to us? Would you be prepared to, hold a meeting? Because we have that service level agreement percentage points in place right now for other clients, and we strive to get 100%. There are so many things that you can do to create your script and create your approach that's honest, that's respectful, that is trusting. And in today's marketplace, I believe that as the world changes and we become more disconnected, disconnected through social media, disconnected through technology, we need to find a way to reconnect face to face. We need to find a way to reconnect over the phone. We're so reliant on our phones, and I do it all the time. My phone, when we drive, it's terrible. Your phone, it bleeps, it pings. You've got to answer it. But remember that actually by picking up your phone, I've got a phone sitting here somewhere, I probably have. Look, if you can pick up your phone, and you can talk to somebody on the phone, you're building a really, really personal relationship, and we've missed that. So I urge you to consider about your phone calls. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. The next one really is and also how to call and connect. Let me just go back to that, because you may say, for example, right, okay, I want to connect with this person, I want to connect with that company. You may not know where to look and where to go. You may not know where to find the information. All the information is out there for you to find anyone's telephone number, even if it takes you 3 hops. You've got LinkedIn, which you can search a term. For example, if you put in PA on LinkedIn and search PA, it'll bring up all the PAs in the country, the PAs for the Arsenal Football Club chairman, the Barclays Bank, and then all you do is try and connect with that PA through LinkedIn. And then I'll give you another little secret. If you want to find someone's telephone number or direct email address, go to a website called ceoemail.com, ceoemail.com. Type in the director's name. You'll find his email address. You probably even find his telephone number. Build up this data of people you're going to connect with and make the call. If someone's a very high profile entrepreneur, then find out who their PR agency is. Find the PR agency and send an email to the PR agency. Go to the person's website, try and contact them directly. But make sure you're calling, you're talking, you're moving your wheels forward. The next one is monitoring and controlling your outcome and your follow-up. So you must monitor your calls. You can get a free CRM system via a company called HubSpot. HubSpot, I think it's something like up to 2,000 connections free for life, a free CRM system. HubSpot.com, go to it, have a look at the CRM system. It's completely free. Start setting it up, type in your notes, type in your client details, and then you've got follow-up, and it will give you reminders when you've got to call people and what you've got to do. So you've got to make sure that you monitor your outcome, because you may not get through to somebody today, but you may speak to somebody on the phone that's a PA, that's a relation, a working colleague, When you call back, you remember you spoke to that particular individual, because that can help you to introduce and break down the barriers of the person that actually you want to try and get to, if that makes sense. And make sure you take notes of your call, what was said, what was discussed, if you didn't get through the first time. So when you're going back again the second time, you can recall the notes. Because trust me, if you make 100 calls in a day and you're really going for it, you're not going to remember everything. So take notes down for every single call and put pertinent points. Someone's dog was called Spot before that I spoke to. He had 1 million calls a day, this guy. He was a famous entrepreneur, but I remember him talking about his dog Spot. And when I called back, I said, Bradley, how you doing today? I said, how's your dog Spot? And he said, yeah, your Spot's fine. How do you know Spot? Well, the last time we spoke, you told me Spot and he wasn't. Oh, Bradley, yeah, how you doing? That's all I needed to do. The next minute we were talking, we had a meeting, we did an interview, and away we went. But I can tell you there's been loads and loads of no's, and those no's that I get, that I write down, that's shut me off, that's not interested, I still like to keep those as what I call the challenge follow-up calls, because we don't learn a lot from the yeses we get. We learn a lot about the no's. We learn more about ourselves when we get no than we do when we get a yes. And a lot of people don't understand this. They think that because you've got a no, oh, it's time to give up, or I'm going to go back in my shell, I'm not going to make any more phone calls. But it's the no that actually teaches you. So why did I get a no? What happened? What didn't I do? How could I have connected differently? What could I have done differently in my approach? And it's from the no's that you evaluate and be really self-critical in order to get a yes. And that's what you've got to keep doing and keep going. And that's why you need your follow-up. Now let's talk about repeating that. When you make your calls and you think about your client, and going back to the point 2, what would be your ultimate client, your ultimate connection, or your ultimate interview, ultimate job. Now go back to point number 2 in your mind and create 6, 8 or 10 of those. You may have your top client, you may have your top connection, your top job. Write down 6 to 8 to 10 of those, because now when you come through to your calls, you've got more people to call. And for me, it might have been like, I wanted to interview David Gold, which I did. I actually ended up in David Gold's home. What a lovely man. We sat in his front room and we interviewed, and it was published interview. You can see it on David Gold's website. And actually, as I left his home, we had such a close interview that he actually gave me his family crest. It was a badge, and it's got DG on it, and it's got courage, determination, perseverance on his crest. And I've never ever lost it. I've still got it. It goes with me everywhere. And it reminds me that actually, if you really want to achieve something, if you want to get through to somebody or make that sale or get to that connection, that actually, if you believe and you are relentless and you keep repeating, you will get there and you will do it. But there's going to be moments of doubt. Embrace those moments of doubt, because those moments of doubt are really where you're going to find out who you are. They're going to find out how resilient you are, because we all face challenges in life, don't we? Whether it's our family, hey Vicky, whether it's our family, whether it's our business, whether it's our careers. And it's not from the successes in our careers we really learn anything from. Once Edison created the light bulb, we didn't learn anything more. Now we know we can have halogen and LCD, LCD, LED. But actually he learned more from failing every time he didn't get the light bulb to work than he did when he got it to work. Once he got it to work, he's learned nothing. 10,000 times Edison, 10,000 times he failed to be able to create the light bulb. On the 10,000th time he got it right, it worked, and that's why we got the light bulb. Did he learn anything from the light bulb once he'd got it? No. He learned in the 10,000 times. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go out and get 10,000 losses. I'm not saying that you're going to get 10,000 no's. You're not. You'll probably get 4 or 5. The point being is, number 1, your mindset. If you believe that you're going to be able to do it, you'll approach it. You won't be afraid to pick up the phone and you'll be able to go for it. This is your dream. This is your business. Number 2, think about your ultimate client, your ultimate connection, or the ultimate change that you need to use the telephone, and do it. Think about it in your mind and do it. Number 3, what would you say to this individual? Think about what you want to say, but put yourself in their shoes. Think about how they're receiving it. Think about how they're receiving the message that you're giving and how you're coming across. Number 4, how to call and connect. Search for your numbers, use LinkedIn, use the internet, use PR agencies, use everything you can to get to the source. The source is the actual person you want to speak to, the client, the connection, the entrepreneur. If you can't get close to the source, get one step away from the source to try and get to the source, but get as close as you can. Not 3, 4, 5, 6 steps away, to the source. Get to the source, and you can do it. The next one, monitor, control, outcome and follow up. Monitor everything you do, control it, do your follow up, make sure you're using a CRM system. As I say, you can use HubSpot, it's completely free for CRM system, up to 2,000 contacts. Number 6 is keep going and make sure you've got a repeating nature in your head. Understand that it may take you 2 or 3 or 4 weeks before you get someone. It may not be the person you want, but the next minute, hey Gavin, how you doing? Nice to see you, buddy. How are you? Looking good, buds. So the next thing is this, that you may not get the person you need straight away, and I'll tell you a quick story in a second. The last thing is number 7 is your mindset in terms of being relentless. You've got to be relentless. You've got to be relentless in terms of your calls, and you mustn't give up. And I promise you, if you don't give up and you keep trying and you keep applying and you keep learning and moving yourself forward, you're going to secure these clients. So I'll end up on a story, and then if you've got any questions, then ping them away before I go. But Gavin just joined us, and Gavin's now living in Dubai. Well done, Gav. It's great to see you're doing really well. A load of fellas went out to Dubai, didn't they, with the property. Ainsley and a few of the guys. There's a magazine called Raw Business. When this first started out, this was in 2007, 2008. I'd just gone through a breakup with then the mother of my children. I'd left the £500,000 home. I left it with black sacks and some clothes, and my children was protected, and I started again in a business, and I was building a business network. I was broke and bust. I had no money. I'd left everything to the missus and the kids, and I wanted to get someone who could represent and be somebody I could say was part of the network. And I'm making calls and ringing around. And it was my brother all the time introduced me to Fatima Whitbread. Fatima Whitbread, what an amazing lady, right? A javelin, a gold medalist, etc., Olympian, absolutely fantastic. But when we was on the phone talking to business owners, I said, "Well, Fatima Whitbread, is that the only person you've got?" I said, "Well, it's a start. We're going to get more." And she's been, very kind enough to come on board and to help us and be a representative, an ambassador. We're really pleased with that. Little did I know that by keep trying and keep going, speaking to people and chasing them down, that I'd then end up meeting people like Rachel Elnor and interviewing her, Richard Farley, Duncan Bannatyne, Levi Roots, Caprice Bore, Charlie Mullins from Pimlico Plumbers, and starting going to some really fantastic. I'm just looking around my room now. I also got there David Gold, Richard Max Clifford, bless him, Duncan Bannatyne, Jacqueline Gold, David Gold's daughter. There's actually a lot of pictures up on my wall to the right of my businesses and to remind me of my journey, which I'll show you another time. And that's not me saying that I'm some big head of the met people. It wasn't. It was a very humbling experience. It was a very humbling experience to be able to meet all these people and to sit down and laugh my socks off with some of them. I can remember sitting with Caprice Bore at her office. I met her twice actually, and we're laughing and joking because the dogs were running all over the place. You've got these little chihuahua type things, 3 of them or 2 of them. And as we're talking, it did a crap right in front of us while we're doing the interview. And he's running around the studio. It's in North London, in West London, sorry. And we just laughed at this dog poop on the floor. The same with Charlie Mullins, who owns Pimlico Plumbers, multi-millionaire, built a business, as an apprentice into what it is today. And I can remember sitting in his office doing an interview with him and laughing my pants off with Charlie. And he's an awesome guy, Charlie Mullins. He invited me to his Christmas party. We photographed and we did everything to his daughter's wedding, I think it was, in Marbella. And what a great guy. And I can tell you, you're going to meet some great people. So on a final note, be relentless in what you do. Be relentless in your approach. But I want you to believe that you've already got it. I want you to believe that you're already doing it. And whatever it is, the person that could change your life or the next business career or the next job or the next client, believe that you've already got it, because that will help your mindset. Then go to work and go and get it. Now, if you stumble or fall during this process, then just go to my Facebook page, or Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve page, or my public figure page. On all of those sites, you've got a book now button. You can book a free coaching call, 30 to 60 minutes. I did one last Saturday with a guy went on for an hour and 45 minutes, and actually I've got a call in a second, actually, as a second call. But always help anybody. I love helping people overcome their fears and their challenges. And it's been a pleasure to talk to you all today. Gavin, thank you. Jerry, Umar, Vicky, Simi, bless you guys. Thank you very much indeed. Listen, have a great Saturday. If I can help you at all, you've got my email address. It's me@bradleychapman.com. Have a wicked Saturday. Don't be afraid. Move yourselves forward. Have a great day. God bless you all. See you now. Hey, Gav, thanks a lot, buddy. And best of luck in Dubai. Great to hear from you. All right, take care. God bless. Bye.